everyone, Scott or the Scottman, and we are here to do a drive video today. We are heading north on I-69. We're here in the northeastern part of Indiana. We just passed up the Indiana toll road, or Interstate 80 and 90. So in this video, we're going to be heading north on I-69 from the Indiana toll road all the way to I-94 near Marshall, Michigan. Guys, as you can tell, they're doing some road work right now in the Indiana portion of I-69. And yeah, right here, this is the last exit for Indiana before you cross over state lines. It is a beautiful day out today. Mostly sunny, and the temperatures currently are 54 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about close, a little over 12 degrees Celsius. So not too bad out today. It's right around average for this time of November. But yeah, I've been trying to do a lot of filming of freeways in the state of Michigan, but might as well start off the video in Indiana. Just because it makes more sense to start the video at I-80 and I-90 than it does at the state line. Looks like the road work is just for the Indiana side of the border, because I see the end road work signs up ahead. Alright, and we are now in the state of Michigan. Because yeah, back there, yeah, that was the border of Michigan and Indiana. So we will be in the state of Michigan for the rest of this video. And yeah, I like how they have two Welcome to Pure Michigan signs. They have another one over here too. But yeah, I just got done filming a video, although the video is not going to be going up until the very beginning of January 2022. Because I still got a bunch of other travel videos I got to upload that I filmed in the state of Michigan back in late September, even some in October as well, and then of course my trip to the Czech Republic. But yeah, I just got done filming a video. Basically, it's kind of like when I was doing the Michigan Off the Beaten Path videos, but yeah, I changed the name of them a little bit. I'm calling it like Hidden Michigan. It might be the final title, or it could be just a working title. But it's basically the same type of video where I go to different places in Michigan, which are well off the beaten path and not really on the tourist radar. Yeah, I saw that truck wanting to get over, so I could have gotten by him, but so when it comes to semis, they have very what am I looking for? It's like their blind spot is not that good. So if I would have tried to go right by the truck and he would have went ahead and proceeded anyway, I probably would have gotten crushed. Unless I were to go like 90 miles an hour to get out of his way fast or something. So anyway, the video I was filming today, I went to 3 communities in the state of Michigan which are within 1 to 4 miles of the border with Ohio. So I first went to Morenci, which is the largest of the 3 communities I went to, and Morenci is within a mile of the border with Michigan and Ohio. And as a matter of fact, in that video, I even walked across the state border, which was pretty cool because it's not too often I get to cross over by foot state border or even a country border. As I was saying in that video, the only other time I crossed over state lines before today was when I went to Fargo, North Dakota last year, and I briefly walked across over to Moorhead, Minnesota. Morenci, and then after that I headed west along the border over to Waldron, which is about 2 miles north of the Michigan-Ohio border. It's a much smaller village, not really a whole lot there, but just a nice little small agricultural village. And then from there I continued even further west to Camden, which Camden, Michigan is about 4 to 5 miles away from the Michigan-Ohio border. But it is also the closest community in Michigan to the border of Michigan, Ohio, and Indiana. And speaking of that, to conclude that video, I even went to the border of Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio, and that was really cool to stand in 3 states at the same time, or cross over the border so many times within just a matter of a couple seconds. Oh, here's the Coldwater River. The Coldwater River heads up to Coldwater. But yeah, what's cool is at the marker where the 3 states meet, it's like about 130 feet to the north, there is a boulder which was put there by the Hillsdale County Historical Society, Hillsdale County, Michigan, which is to the east of here. This is Branch County. But the Hillsdale County put a boulder there marking approximately the marker for the 3-state border, for the 3 states bordering each other. They put the boulder there like in 1977, but in the road itself there is an engraved M in the road, which is approximately the actual marker, or at least the marker of the 3-state border, or the borders, which all 3 states came to an agreement to. Really cool. You kind of get that same feeling when you go to the Four Corners, which is basically the states of where Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona meet up. Although I did hear that for the Four Corners monument, that where they have engraved where the 4 states meet, it's not the true location of where the 4 states meet. It is technically a little bit away from there, not by much, but so it's like when you're standing at the Four Corners, you're technically not. That was something I read online. But if you were to find the actual location where those 4 states meet, that would be really cool. But still, it's pretty cool. You got something kind of like that with 3 states within the state of Michigan. Well, at least a quarter of it, because Indiana has half of that, and then Ohio has the other quarter. But yeah, it was like with that marker, it's like you're also at the northwesternmost point of Ohio. So it's like where I was standing, it's like I could not go any further to the west or the north in the state of Ohio. But yeah, it's like it's really off the beaten path though, just because yeah, it's like if you're coming in from Michigan or from the north, going to the tri-state border, you're going on a gravel road, so you can tell it's not really marked going to the actual monument. You don't really see markers until you're at the spot. forecast today, I knew I had to go off and do some type of a little day trip. And I'm glad I did so because, yeah, again, beautiful day. We're starting to get either to peak or slightly past peak when it comes to our fall foliage. Especially in the Metro Detroit area, there's still some leaves which are still green, but they're starting to turn. Because you can still see some different fall color in different areas. But as I was saying in one of my previous driving videos, the first half of October was very warm. So because of that, the leaves didn't start changing colors until a little later than normal. That's why you can't really time it very well for when you're going to like the northern states to check out the fall foliage, whether it's northern Michigan or like northern New England. They got different websites where they track the fall color. Man, we're starting to approach the main exit for Coldwater. I'm seeing some construction barrels. I wonder either they did stuff here already or they're about to do stuff. I'd like to say it's the former because it is early November. Winter is approaching slowly. Because December is only a month away. As I'm recording this video, that is. I gotta get back over. So up here's the exit for Highway 12, which if you take Highway 12 west, that'll take you into downtown Coldwater and eventually over to Sturgis, and it goes along the state lines of Michigan and Indiana, well, kind of. And then eventually heads west toward Niles and then New Buffalo, and then crosses over to Indiana, going toward Michigan City, then Gary, and then over toward Chicago. You go east on Highway 12, you go out to the Irish Hills, that'll take you out in the general direction of the Michigan International Speedway near Brooklyn, Michigan. You go through the village of Clinton, and then also Saline, and then eventually goes over to Ypsilanti, and then into Metro Detroit, where Highway 12 eventually ends in downtown Detroit over at Campus Martius Park. So we've still got a ways to go in this video because 25 miles to go until we get to Marshall, which Marshall is basically the city where I-69 and I-94 meet up, although the interchange is to the northwest. And yeah, as a matter of fact, I even technically filmed a video on I-69 going south from I-94 to Highway 12. It was back when I filmed the video of Coldwater a few years ago. But I'm probably going to replace that video just because I think I was going into the sun a little bit, although it might have been cloudy that day. Oh no, I don't think I filmed the video in Coldwater the day I filmed the drive video going the other way. I think I was going to Sturgis. Which again, Sturgis is further to the west on Highway 12. Yeah, I just planned a little long weekend trip for 2 weeks from right now from when I'm recording this video. I'm planning to go to Dallas and Fort Worth. Which, yeah, I already went there technically in February 2020. That was the last out-of-state trip I did before the pandemic began. But on that trip, I mainly went to Dallas and then some of the suburbs, where this time I'm going to Fort Worth. Because yeah, for what I heard, it's like Dallas seems to be more, or no, what am maybe I'll say it this way. Fort Worth compared to Dallas is, I'd say it has more of its, you see more of the roots of Texas there, because it has more of the cowboy feel, from what I've heard. And the nickname is even Cowtown. Because yeah, it's like the most famous, one of the most famous things in Fort Worth is, or would be the Fort Worth Stockyards. It's like where they have like a cattle drive twice a day, once at 11:30 in the morning and the other at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, where you can see a bunch of longhorns go down the road there. So that'd be pretty neat to see. But I'll be doing that the weekend, the long weekend before Thanksgiving. Because yeah, I have off almost all the week of Thanksgiving, except for the Monday and Tuesday, but I'm taking off those 2 days so that way I can do a little mini trip and then get home in time for Thanksgiving. Should probably drink some water. It's pretty rare that I've driven on this stretch of I-69, just because it's the furthest stretch of I-69 away from where I live. And it's like, other than going like the Coldwater or the Sturgis, this is mainly if I wanted to go like to Indiana. Which, to be honest, from where I live, if I want to go to Indiana, I'd probably be better off going down toward the Toledo area than cutting over on Highway 24 over toward Fort Wayne. So yeah, I-69, yep. As I've said in a lot of my I-69 videos, this freeway is eventually going to go from Port Huron, Michigan, where it crosses over into Canada, all the way down to the border with Mexico as it goes into Mexico. Because until, I think over a decade or so ago, I-69 only went from Port Huron down to the north side of Indianapolis. But they've added different additions to it in the southern part of Indiana, in most of the state of Kentucky, maybe a tiny stretch of Tennessee. This is so far here in late 2021. Small stretch in Mississippi. I think I already said that though. And then Texas, like down in Houston, where basically in Houston where Highway 59 is, it's now also I-69. And once you get down toward Victoria, Texas, then that's where I-69 starts to branch off to the 2 and then eventually 3 separate freeways. So that one stretch of I-69 continues, will eventually continue southwest toward Laredo along Highway 59. One stretch will branch off to the left, go down toward Brownsville, Texas. And then there'll be another stretch which goes down toward like McAllen, Texas. I'm not sure when they're eventually going to complete the entire stretch. But yeah, it would be really cool to see that in its completion. And just because I live in Michigan, and part of me, once that finishes, and probably I don't see it being until maybe next decade at a minimum. It'd be cool to do a full drive on that, not all one video or anything. But it would be cool to drive from Port Huron, Michigan, all the way down to like Laredo, Texas, on one freeway. That might be a pretty cool road trip to do once it eventually opens. Although by then I would think by then I'll be married, probably be married and have a kid or two at that point. So that might be a little bit more challenging to plan. Yeah, but we're entering Calhoun County. But But yeah, it's like whoever I marry at some point, she'll need to be as big of a traveler or love travel as much as I do. Or who knows, maybe she would love more. Maybe she would love to travel more than me, which that'd be cool. But yeah, Calhoun County, I'd say it's pretty big, I have to say, because you got 3 different cities at least in Calhoun County. You got Marshall, you got Albion, which is in the eastern part of the county along I-94, which of course that's where Albion College is. And then you also have Battle Creek, which is the largest city in Calhoun County. Alright, but here's the St. Joseph River. So the St. Joseph River, it's mostly a Michigan river, but going west toward Three Rivers, and eventually then goes south into Indiana, over to Elkhart and South Bend, before heading back up into Michigan through Niles, and then eventually empties out into Benton Harbor, and then finally St. Joseph into Lake Michigan. Here's the exit for M60. Since I was just talking about Three Rivers, if you go M60 west, I'll take you out to Three Rivers, Michigan, which is along Highway 131. Go east at M60, that'll take you over to Jackson, and eventually goes to I-94 as well. But M60 goes through a couple of small Michigan towns, which I even filmed a video of in 2020, where I went to Concord, Michigan, and also Homer, Michigan. As for other trips, yeah, I might try to do some type of a road trip, maybe right after Christmas. I haven't thought that far yet. I'm kind of waiting. I want to get through the trip to Dallas-Fort Worth first. Or I'd say more Fort Worth. I'm not really going to Dallas. Sorry, not really going to Dallas this time. Although if I do, maybe off camera or something. Yep, another 13 miles to go until we get to Marshall. Although technically that's going to downtown Marshall, which I-69 does not do that. It goes just to the west of Marshall. Yeah, as I'm filming this video, tonight we're going to be going back 1 hour because daylight savings time ends here in the United States, with the exception of, I think, Hawaii and Arizona, minus the Navajo Nation. So that'll mean an extra hour of sleep tonight, which is nice because, yeah, it's like it's that hour that you lose, you get back. Like when you lose that 1 hour of sleep, when you bounce forward into daylight savings time in March here in the United States and Canada. Yeah, there's been a lot of talks though about more and more people wanting to get rid of daylight savings time. Either that's where we just be on standard time the entire year, or be on permanent or indefinite daylight savings time, to where we don't fall back at the end of the year. It's like I kind of have a lot of mixed feelings overall personally, because in the summertime I do like it when it's brighter later, just because, especially when I'm going out to travel, do like day trips, like I can have daylight till like 9 o'clock at night, especially here in the state of Michigan. So that is really nice. So one advantage of daylight savings time that I do like. The disadvantage to daylight savings time comes in the winter months, or even like right now, where as in daylight savings time right now, it gets dark at 6 o'clock, but in the morning it's dark until like 8 o'clock in the morning. And by the time Christmas rolls along, which is just after the winter solstice, sunrise is not going to be close to like 9 o'clock in the morning, and that is late. So when you think about school kids waiting at the bus stop, you'll have elementary school kids waiting in the dark. And that is not really a good idea, in my opinion. But of course, with standard time, if we're going to be on standard time the entire year, although, yeah, it's sad to see that it gets dark around 5 o'clock, like around dinner time, but on the bright side, it gets brighter out a little earlier. Where, in all honesty, it wouldn't be too big of a deal in the summertime. Just the only thing is the sun would be coming out a lot earlier in the day. So it's really hard to say. It's like if they had to get rid of the daylight savings time system, if I were to pick between year-round daylight savings time or year-round standard time, I almost would want to rather go with year-round standard time. Just because I can't fathom it, or I can't fathom a sunrise around 9 a.m. and having kids, especially young kids, wait for, especially kids who start school like around 9 o'clock in the morning, they could be waiting at their bus stop in the dark, and that is not safe, in my opinion. But we'll see if that happens. If it does, I'll just go along for the ride. What's for certain, though, is that tonight, off camera, I'll have to move my clocks back 1 hour. Yes, I've even heard, too, that bouncing forward or moving forward or going back an hour, it's like it does mess with people's sleep schedules, although I feel like for me, it doesn't really affect me that much. But then again, I'm pretty young. I'm only 33 years old, so it might be different if I'm 60. It's almost like no different if you're driving over to Chicago from Detroit. As you go back an hour, or then vice versa, you're moving forward an hour. It's kind of like the same concept. And yeah, usually when I'm going between one time zone to another, that's within a 1 hour difference, it's not really a big deal for me. It's a different story, let's say if I'm flying from Detroit to, let's say, California, where it's a 3 hour difference. That's a different story. So I probably have another several miles to go until I get to I-94. And after I finish this video, I'm not going to be filming it today, but there is only one more stretch of I-69 I need to film in the state of Michigan. Because I filmed the entire stretch in 2 separate videos between Lansing and Flint, and then I filmed the 2 stretches. Well, I filmed 2 stretches of I-69 between Flint and Port Huron. pretty nice city. I remember filming a video there, but like a long time ago. Like I almost should film a new one just because it was with a very old camera with terrible quality. To the weather in November here in the state of Michigan, it's very wishy-washy because, oh, here's the Kalamazoo River. It's like you can have nice warm days like this, but you can also see snow too. Although usually any snow that falls in the state of Michigan in November does not stay very long. So here's the exit for M96. If you go due east on M96, that'll take you into downtown Marshall. And we have another 2 miles to go until we get to I-94. I will need to go around this trailer, but there's somebody in the left lane who's coming up really fast, so I need to hold off for a moment. Truck hauling a trailer. Alright, so about less than a mile to go until we get to I-94. So here's the exit for I-94, and I hope you enjoyed this video of I-69 going north from I-80, I-80 and I-90, aka the Indiana Toll Road from near Fremont, Indiana, all the way to I-94 near Marshall, Michigan. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click the subscribe button to come along and join me for the adventure, and don't forget to click that notification bell so that way you know when a new video goes live. Well, thanks for watching, and this is Scott with the Scottman signing out.